to the Voiceover Roundtable. I'm Mike Tobin.
And I'm Emma O'Neill. Every week, we get together to talk about all things voiceover, with a special focus on community.
Bringing you in-depth interviews, roundtable discussions, special performance events, and industry-leading guests.
Let's get started. This is the Voiceover Roundtable.
Last week, before we dive in for this, let's talk quickly about it. Last week, we had our first community roundtable of the year. Mm-hmm. All the feels, Em. All the feels.
So
I'm not crying, you're crying. Talking about highs and lows of 2022, and some of the crap we went through, not just Emma, but our community, and then we pulled out of it and put the nose to the sky and talked about setting some goals for 2023. It was an absolutely awesome night. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you were with us, yeah, Emma.
It was. I feel like it was a perfect example of what this room represents, which is a safe space to come and share and play. And it was the things that were shared last week by everybody that came to the stage. Yeah. It was so intimate and so personal and so wonderful to be. It was such a privilege to be able to share that and to receive the information, receive the shares and the feelings from everybody. So thank you, everybody, for being here last week. If you weren't here last week, we thank you anyway. You're awesome. Mm-hmm. And then there's tonight.
Go ahead.
Well, we are very excited. On my screen to my right, I swear to God, I still can't get my head wrapped around the fact that I'm not on camera. So I'm constantly nodding and smiling and pointing to things. And I'm like, okay, pull it together, kids. We are super excited to bring our first special event of the year. We're diving in with some of the genres of voiceover that are specifically all about generating excitement. And we are talking about movie trailers and promo.
And tonight we're going to try and ask some questions. Hopefully that some of the questions that you were thinking about asking, we're going to try and maybe get some questions from you in the audience, and maybe even a little bit of a surprise in store for you tonight. Maybe. But we're going to do something new because we haven't done this before with special guests or anything like that. So this is the first time that we're doing this particular thing right now. Before we go any further, I want you all to have a listen to this.
On March 4th.
The family has a history of philanthropy, but as far as I can tell, you're not doing anything.
The truth will be unmasked.
The Riddler's latest is all about the Waynes. Who are you over there?
The Batman. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. Tickets on sale now. On December 9th, Night at the Museum comes back to life. Exclusively on Disney+. Fox tonight.
We built a dynasty.
Monarch is TV's new smash hit.
We do what has to be done to protect the family.
Alaska, the last frontier. Only on Discovery. Come explore the magic of Disney+. Naked and Afraid. Only on Discovery. Star Trek Picard, a CBS All-Access original.
You guys are in our lives now. Nothing's ever going to change that.
They're the only people I've ever heard of to smuggle drugs into Mexico.
It's just a Ziploc and a full shampoo bottle.
It's so much more comfortable than what I had in my...
Vacation Friends, rated R. Only on Hulu, August 27th.
Our guest tonight is the owner of Trailer Voice Artist Agency, supplying voices for theatrical and promotional marketing agencies in Hollywood. He's also a voice actor working with Warner Brothers, Disney Studios, Fox, Netflix, NCAA, Domino's, 21st Century Studios, Hulu, and the brand voice of Discovery and TLC for 22 countries. Please welcome one of my agents and friend to the Voiceover Roundtable, Brent Allent Hagel. Please, sir, come to the stage.
You got so theatrical on that intro.
I know! I'm so excited.
Thank you for having me.
We're so excited to have you here. This is awesome! I'll calm
Okay.
down. I won't. I won't.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Brent! Thank you so much for joining us and giving of your time to be with the voiceover roundtable. Now, Emma's introduction and your short bio and the little sample we heard is really just a taste of your career, and you've worked or continue to work in many roles within our industry. You've been a working voice actor for more than 20 years now. You do some casting. And most recently, coming up on 5 years, I think, as the agency owner and talent development manager at Trailer Voice Artists. Now, I know everyone likes, especially in VO, because it seems like we're always talking about how do you get into whatever. Everyone likes an origin story. So if you we'd love to hear, like, what did getting started in VO look like for you?
Not very successful is the answer to that. I've been at this where I just had the idea of wanting to do voiceover. I think that's how we all start, just with an idea, with a thought that, hey, that's something that makes me feel good or terrifies me or allows me to express myself. I can't play an instrument. If I could play an instrument, maybe I would have done that instead of voiceover. But it's truly just a creative outlet for me that eventually the hobby and passion for doing it turned into a business. So I've been everything from the origin story. I've been everything from a radio DJ to a wedding DJ. I've seen hundreds of weddings.
Yeah.
So, and then, I interned at radio stations. It gave my time for free to learn production. In high school, it really started where I was the sound guy. So I would haul speakers out to the quad and play music for the cheerleaders and edit the cheerleaders' dance routines, the sound bites for that stuff. And I really kind of dove into audio production and live announcing really was my background. Then we do some pre-recorded stuff. I live here in Southern California. So I had a season pass to Universal Studios, so I would often go because I was a broke high school kid, and that was essentially free if I had gas money in the pass.
Right.
And I would just listen to announcement spiels throughout the theme park, and listen to all the recorded high value productions at Universal Studios, and I just kind of had the ear for voiceover, and people told me I was good at it, and it felt good to do something that people told me I was good at. It felt good to get positive feedback. I wasn't the quarterback. I didn't have any, special skills other than this voiceover work and announcing and certain attitudes and tones that I could create with my voice. And over time, I struggled at ever really making money from it, except for being a wedding DJ. But then eventually, through my journeys, I have friends who went on to work in production companies and things like that because I'm from Southern California, and a lot of those people, when I was 19, 20, 21, started giving me shots. Like at GoPro, I had a buddy that went to work there, and NCAA, I had a buddy who went to go work there. And so a lot of these people, I wasn't very good. They were very gracious to give me the shots. And some of my friends went to work at trailer houses, but I wasn't good enough then. So they gave me the shot, but I didn't book it. I did get the GoPro thing, which was cool, and they paid me with a couple GoPros, which was rad. But in the beginning, I was okay with getting paid in trade. I was okay with building relationships. I was okay with doing somebody a solid. It wasn't always about getting where's my paycheck.
Right.
I think that attitude can become detrimental when you're growing your business. But over time, you want the money from major corporations who can afford to pay you well. Taking money from someone who's working on their first animated short, don't expect the world from them. Expect to build that relationship. So over time, I took workshops. I did about 7 years of promo training here in Studio City in Southern California at Voice Tracks West, which is recently remodeling. So I worked with every promo coach I could, and I spent my money. I was a chef at the time, so I was working 10 hours in the kitchen, cooking, washing dishes. I worked at a senior living home, so wheeling elderly people around, pureeing food, everything it takes to run a. I was the executive chef, so I had to do all the ordering and all that stuff. So I would audition in my car, and I really wanted to be a voice actor, but I needed to pay my bills and pay my mortgage and take care of my wife, so I had a day job. And over time, I eventually saved up money to get the training that it takes to become successful and go to a professional demo producer and have my demos professionally made. And I started pitching agencies, and it took me 3 years of pitching agencies to get signed with Vox. I was with Vox for a year. I made $600 that year, so my dream had come true.
Nice.
I was finally rich and famous.
Yeah, absolutely.
So moral of that story is, just because you get signed on with an agency, it doesn't mean you're instantly going to be
Yeah.
Yeah, so
shot to the
true.
top of a roster. Now you're on the bottom of a roster of people who've been there for 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
really got to pay your dues. But I made some new demos, and then I went over to William Morris and interviewed there. They liked me. They threw me in the booth and read me. They said, "Hey, your demos sound great, but anybody can sound great in a demo. Go in the booth and prove you can do these things."
Yeah.
So another note for everybody in there: whatever you say you can do, make sure you can do it, and the sound quality is the same. So then I read for them, and they said, "We'll call you and let you know if we want to bring you on." And so I'm like, okay, I think I nailed it. I don't know. Then I got that was on a Friday. Then I got a call, and then I got an audition that evening. Actually, I read on it right away because I was so excited. I didn't think twice about it. I just read the thing and turned it in. I didn't overthink it. I was excited. Um, and then I booked that, so I became the NBC promo voice for Megyn Kelly when she jumped from Fox,
Wow.
I think, over to NBC.
Oh, boom.
So I had this switch from getting nothing to repositioning and rebranding and remarketing myself and getting ears on me,
Right.
and then I was a fresh new sound. So it kind of pays to have the right people and put ears on you and give you a chance and things like that. But that this is now 7 years after training and failing, and everyone saying no to me. Every agent said no to me. Every manager said no to me. Every client said no to me. So it's like thousands of no's before you get the one. And
And,
then
and then everybody says you had an overnight success,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
yeah, and then that's all they want to remember is your successes. But there's times where I would go to in person to set like casting sessions and just totally bomb it. Like my heart would pound out of my chest, and I would just bomb these things. But that's all part of the process. That's part of the journey. You can't nail it every time. Well, hopefully you can now, but you have to grow from somewhere. And then over time, I really wanted to work in trailers, and that's kind of an exclusive thing. And all the managers told me no, like, hey, we're full. We're not interested in you. And I had pitched them for 4 years and waited around for my time to come. But that's not going to happen. So I built my own door and walked through it.
Wow.
Sort of thing. And that's still an ongoing process. I think he said about almost 5 years now. My goal for Treat TVA was market success in 7 years and market dominance in 10 years. So I'm giving myself a realistic timeline to make impact.
I love it.
That's just kind of what it takes.
Yeah. Man.
Love that.
And yeah, now I work on cool stuff, and my life is awesome. But there's a lot of washing dishes and late nights and frustration, and not being able to get through a commercial read in a workshop, and like all these moments have happened, and that's all things to help me grow. And so when I'm working with talent or look for talent, I look for people who have already kind of done those struggles, and are now kind of marketing themselves and seeing success. I think a manager or an agent is a tool. It is an asset to a successful voiceover business.
Yeah.
So everyone in this room is an entrepreneur. You're running your own enterprise. You don't need me. You don't need an agent. You don't need any of that stuff. That should be an additional tool to your overall business. And I think as many genres, today we're going to talk about promo and trailer. That's because that's the work I love. I also work in radio imaging and commercial and in other genres as well. But there's usually not explosions or, any sort of romance or, drama in those categories of voiceover. I like this just because it's exciting and it's thrilling to work on this type of content. And I really enjoy the people who make this kind of content. And that's something we'll get into is understanding the job of the people who are hiring you.
Yes.
What is a music supervisor's job? What is an assistant editor's job? What is the owner of a trailer house's job? What is the job of the senior vice president at the network or the senior vice president at the studio? What is the job of the art department? What is the job of the all these different people that are in the line of working with your voice and potentially referring you or hiring you? And the more you know about their daily life and their job, the more empathy you'll have, and you'll be able to kind of deliver what they need, and kind of work better with them, because you understand that you're part of the creative process. You're part of the team. You're not that they're bringing on kind of as freelance. You're not some sort of like outcast, and they've chosen you because you've already won the role in the audition. Now you just got to be like a good person and be professional, and kind of deliver quickly what they want. And hopefully you get yourself a client for many years to come.
Get your pens out, kids. Take your notes, because there's going to be some information shared tonight. Let me tell you.
Knowledge bombs.
I just
Knowledge
literally
bombs.
like, and just take out notebook now and get ready to write this down.
Emma, you were going to ask about one of those stories?
No, well, I mean, Brent's covered quite a bit of stuff that I was going to actually touch on. And one of them was being, when you were chefing and you were running out mid-shift to record in the back of your car. It was like sitting in the back seat of the car holding the microphone kind of thing, or?
Oh yeah, and sweating bullets. It was summer in Southern California, and I have a black car. It's not a pleasant experience.
And you got to keep the windows up, and you got to turn the car off. It's not like you can run the AC while you record.
Exactly. And I didn't book any of those. Maybe one I got a call back.
Okay.
So I'm competing against people with, professional broadcast quality sound booths.
Yeah.
But again, I was still training. I was still learning. I was still growing. I wasn't aware of the level of talent that existed in the marketplace. I still thought it was about my voice, and, I don't know, the reads probably sounded terrible. No audio engineer wants to go through like, oh man, I'm going to have to do so much to fix this. Let's just go with the person who has good sound.
Yeah.
So it's another note, yes, please turn your auditions, let your agents and managers know that you're on top of it. It's better to have something than nothing. But understand the level, and me working in all these workshops and seeing what I've seen, the level at which people are competing is Olympics level voiceover. They're extremely talented with pristine audio, perfect deliveries, perfect nuance. I call voiceover the art of subtlety. They'll find moments to tell story within a script. They will do amazing things that a lot of voice actors wouldn't think of, unless they kind of have seen thousands of pieces of copy before. And that's what it comes from. What I say, knowing people's jobs is, what is the job of a copywriter? If you can understand the emotions and the mindset of what the copywriter is trying to do, it's really going to help you, because they hear a voice in their head when they're writing their things, their commercials. They know what they're after, and they're just trying to search for it out here in the world and find it. So if you can get close to that imaginary voice they have in their head, I mean, your chances are so much better. But yeah, I'm sure with an Apogee hype mic and things like that, like you could probably get away with. This is 7, 8 years ago or whatever it was now. I think I had like some sort of Rode thing that was like first generation, but I'm sure you can get away with it now. But
actually,
go ahead.
So no, I booked one of my first TV narrations. I was trying so desperately to get into the genre, and it was like, I will get in, I'll do it. I'm coaching with the best. I've got a great demo. I'm doing all this stuff, and then, of course, the day I go on vacation, I get an audition for a TV narration for a sports documentary. And I was at an Airbnb. I couldn't find anywhere in the place that was quiet, like everything, like even underneath blankets, like I'm the queen of the pillow fort. And even in that, it was terrible. I started the audition with, I really want to audition for this, but I'm at an Airbnb and it's really loud. Emma O'Neill, 2 takes. And I booked the job.
Quite the slate, Em.
Shit. And it was because they laughed. When I talked to the producer, he was like, we killed ourselves laughing. And we just kept playing your intro and then going, but her audition was the best audition. Yes, it sounded like garbage, but the performance was great. That's what we were looking for. And it was my first TV narration. So, like you said, it's not about necessarily the sound of your voice. It's the performance that you're giving and giving them what they're looking for.
Yeah, the producers at one of the trailer houses I work with told me they like finding the Easter eggs in my voice files, because I'll usually do some fun things, or throw a rap in there or something just to have fun, because they're creative people. It's not all super serious. We work at the Smithsonian sort of operation. Everyone's creative. They're all having fun. The more be professional, but you can have some fun with your work as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's great advice. I love hearing that, because I think many voice talent come from a place of fear sometimes in those auditions and putting stuff forward. Am I enough? Am I enough? So to hear that, have fun with it, and there's creative people on the other side listening to you, and they want to have fun too. I think that's great advice. You said it before. These are the shiny, boom, bangy genres. With promo and with trailers. So I wanted to talk a bit about trailers, and it's hard to do so. I'm sure every discussion that you have about this stuff probably comes in. It's hard to talk about trailers without mentioning the late Don LaFontaine. Now, a lot of people have said that, after he passed, the trailer industry went really, really quiet, and then went through a period where there were almost no voiceovers at all in trailers. And yet here we are with you, and you with an agency of talent specializing in the genre, among other genres, of course. Let's talk about the trends. Have trailer narrations come roaring back, or what?
No, not at all. It depends on what you see trailer as. Trailer can actually be classified as entertainment marketing. So this is the genre would be called theatrical marketing, which means, yes, the trailer is probably the first asset. They'll probably release for a campaign. They'll release a teaser trailer, and then they'll release maybe the first run trailer. And that may just have a title and tag on it, Jurassic World rated R. Super simple, because they're letting the actors and the footage tell the story instead of having a narrator do it. And one of the video editors that worked at a trailer house that I was working with, he said, look, trust me, voiceover is the quickest way for me to explain a story to an audience. It's much harder for me to go and find all these sound bites and create graphics and do all this stuff, but that's what the studio wants, and that's what people are expecting. And we're using a lot of covers of popular songs in our trailers, and people tend to resonate with that. Remember, all these trailers are going to focus groups, and focus groups are voting on which trailers the public sees. So it's a very corporate process. But in entertainment marketing, they still need to make print ads, and they still need to cover the sides of buses, and they need to put this in the subway, and on your airline your seat in the screen in front of you. So they're letting everybody know about print and digital and everything about a film. Now that means they're still going to make TV commercials and radio commercials, and so in modern trailers and TikTok and social media spots. Don't let me forget that. That's huge right now. So they still need to make these assets. And so for a voiceover actor, you will be cast in the commercial and in radio spots, because you can't really sell a trailer on radio without a narrator. It just, they've tried. It doesn't really translate as well.
Yeah.
So the work is still there. It's just not in that first run theatrical trailer. And the opportunity for people to make money, and they still need, they call them trailer narrators. They wouldn't call them trailer voices. And if you like, the corporate logo from like Warner and Sony and things like that is who is our narrator for the campaign. So just remember that note if you're ever in a situation. But yes, the work is still there, and it's still coveted by the powers that be. If you're working on $100 million, $200 million movie, you want to make sure that the person that's narrating your movie is somebody people know, or someone who is established, someone who we're not taking a risk on, a gamble on. We want to make sure our our investors get their hundreds of millions of dollars back plus revenue. So the word of a manager, the word of a talent agent is something that has a lot of weight and value in these. The voiceover is a very high level decision. This is made by the senior vice president of the studio. It's a very high level decision, like right under the EVP of the studio, who is saying, hey, which voice should go? Because everybody has a boss up the corporate ladder. So I've read for Disney for 3 years before they let me pass and stay on the trailer. So I mean, I've scratched a lot and given my voice to a lot of cuts and edits and things like that, and I didn't charge a dime. I don't make any money off scratching, but the hope is that over time, the studio gets used to your voice, and then they'll be like, hey, you know what, this voice worked great for this piece. Let's let's put it out on air, or you make it through the focus groups and they don't boot you off. So it's pretty tough.
Well, it seemed to work though.
But once you pay your dues and you scratch, and then it's kind of your turn to be the voice and to be one of the small pool of voices that they trust and start picking from. Which is why people that work in trailer don't get a lot of trailers. They work, they do a good amount of trailers. Once you've kind of passed that threshold, you become sought after and you kind of vetted to an extent.
Right.
That process just takes years. It just takes a long time. And everyone's path to that is different. But the way to do it would be kind of, like I said, scratching. And that scratch means giving your voice for free to a production company who's working on mock trailers to pitch to the studios. So the studios don't actually make anything. They just outsource all the work to entertainment marketing agencies. They're cutting the spots. They're cutting the radio spots. They're the people sourcing voiceover. And then, so I asked a Disney executive, hey, how do you source your voices? I just hit him up on LinkedIn, and he said, hey, Brent, good to hear from you. We usually source our voices from the entertainment marketing agencies. So the studios are just there to watch the work and approve or deny it.
Right.
So you kind of got to get into the ground floor with the people whose jobs after this clubhouse, the music editor, the video editor, the post production people, all the people that it takes to build a trailer. You need to kind of know them and know their jobs and know what it takes to kind of build that stuff. So the opportunity to work in trailer is there, and it will always be there. I don't really think this is something an AI voice can replicate. Just the nuances that it would take to sell a trailer especially it's because a movie is such an emotional thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I give the floor back to you guys.
Well, you just answered, Sarah Tyndall had just asked, how do you self-market for promo? And casting I've met say they only go through agents for this genre. You've just answered that question of, LinkedIn, use your LinkedIn, use your searches wisely, especially if you don't have a pro account because, you only get so many. But to follow up, I hope you guys are taking notes tonight, seriously. It's dropping bombs all over the place that are so valuable. I have a question for you, Brent, specifically as a talent agent and manager. What trends have you seen for female voices, if any, in trailer and promo over the last few years?
They're using more of it in all genres, including sports. Yep. I'm seeing a pretty conversational sound. I'm not seeing any women who are trying to do what guys do, like trying to do like their kind of female trailer voice or something like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty much just them kind of understanding what it is they're making, what genre it is they're making, and kind of just giving a very just kind of everyday nuanced performance from it. Right. They're not kind of overselling it and making it too theatrical. I just don't know. And I talked about this in one of the last workshops, is that female trailer sound has not really been developed yet. It doesn't exist. They don't know what it's supposed to sound like because it has not been made. Usually the only time you'll hear like a female trailer voice is like they'll make it turn into a robot or AI, or like they'll put some vocal effect or something on it. So the female trailer narrator is yet to be defined, and in the coming years, someone will develop it, and it will happen. I hope to be part of that process with an actress. But in promo,
right here,
yes,
right here.
yeah, we'll work on them. And I have certain techniques and styles I think that work really well in the genre, and I will eventually get an opportunity to pitch those, personally to trailer houses and have them think on it. But that'll just take time as I grow. But in promo, I hear women all over CBS and NBC and Fox some, and it's just one of those things where over time it'll happen. And just so everyone in the room knows that certain agencies like SPV or CESD or Atlas or something like that, they're all people, they're human beings. And they all have relationships with certain other human beings. So certain agencies will be tight with certain networks and not really get any auditions from other networks. Sure. So when you're interviewing an agency, if you ever get to the point where you've done your training, you've made your kick-ass promo demo or whatever it may be, and you finally get an opportunity to chat with an agent, say, hey, what networks are you guys tight with? Do you have relationships with? Because they might say, hey, we don't work at all with Fox, but we work at daily with CBS and HGTV or something like that. So understand, or maybe have some goals. If you have a very, very specific network you want, or very specific, thing you want to do in promo, make sure to do some research of how to gain access and put yourself in a position to audition for that stuff. Because I didn't really know that getting into this, that I just thought every agent got everything. I don't know. No one ever sat me down and told me. So over time, I just kind of figured it out by watching the market and seeing which voice actors book which networks and who they're signed with and how all that works, which is kind of a fun game to play. You kind of know your business and know the key players and look to see who's booking, look to see where all the money is going and, who's making the most, because the goal for you should be to, make as much money as you can and follow careers of people who are doing really well. And I kind of judge promo and trailer based off of bookings and earnings, whereas with animation and video games and things like that, you can kind of judge it off of really cool roles you want to play and things like that. This is more of like I don't know. It's more of a money making sort of, because it's a marketing job really. This area of VO is more marketing than it is kind of the character and role playing thing. So you have to kind of have the mindset of someone who's an actor, actress, but also a marketing expert. And that'll really help you in your career. I kind of rambled there, but I hope that made sense.
That totally did. It totally did.
I love the reverse engineering concept, and that goes for anything. Like if you want to kind of figure out a genre or a goal that you're after, look who's doing it, who are they with, where what are they booking, what are the brands they're booking, things like that. It could go for anything. It could go for commercial, video games or whatever. If you have a goal that you've set, reverse engineer it. Look who's doing it, who's successful, who are they with, how do you get there?
It's funny because it's so simple, and yet it's not something that's, the average person is going to think of immediately. As there's always the question of, how do I do this thing? And there's more of, when the question is asked, it's more asking someone like, tell me what to do, instead of asking yourself, how do I do this thing? And reverse engineering it exactly like that. Of, okay, so I want to voice for HGTV. Who's voicing for HGTV? Who are they represented by? It's so simple. And at the same time, it's like, oh, genius.
You got to put in some work.
That's genius. Oh, I'm just going to do our little advertisement break here. If you just joined us partway through, this is the Voiceover Roundtable. We meet every Tuesday evening at 7:30 p.m. EST here on Clubhouse to talk about all things voiceover with a focus on community. We also bring you special guests. Community is a word that I have problems saying, that and digital. We also bring you special guests and events from across our industry, and tonight it is no exception, as we have been chatting with Brent Allent Hagel, a 20-year veteran of voiceover, featuring he's the feature voice in tons of movie trailers and network promo, the agency owner at Trailer Voice Artists. And now, Brent, as we've just mentioned, your agency, TVA, can you tell us, we talked about this a bit, but I'd love for you to share, why TVA? Why did it start? How did it come to be?
Well, I wanted to work in movie trailers, and every voiceover manager told me no. So what are my options at this point?
Right.
I say you're right and walk away, or I build my own agency and dominate the marketplace.
Boom.
Those are your options, right? I mean,
yeah.
I don't need anyone's permission to do what I'm going to do.
Everybody, can you write that down, please? Can y'all just write down what he just said? You do not need permission.
You're never going to be ready. There's never going to be this sign that clicks on that says, "Okay, you're going to make $1 million now." You just got to grind, and you just got to be okay when no. Okay, how do I outthink this situation? How do I maneuver? How do I do something here? So I was in workshop with people for 7 years. I met a lot of voiceover friends that were all very good. I said, guys, I'm going to start our own marketing agency thing, and I'm just going to collect all the demos from all you guys, and I'm just going to start pitching them directly to the trailer houses and networks myself, which means I had to leave my existing agent and start a competitive brand. And it takes years to do something like that and to gain success. And I went to Netflix. Uh, got a meeting at Netflix, and I went in and had a boardroom meeting with the producers over at Netflix off
I
Sunset.
remember that day. We were talking on Instagram the day that you were going in for that
Yeah.
meeting.
And that was, I think, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And and you work with them now, and I just had another trailer voice
Yep.
artist do a project with them. I actually have to send the invoice now. Last week, they reach out to me weekly for all the stuff over, that's one relationship I built 4 years ago.
Yep.
And because I do certain things. I'm very attentive. I'm very fast. My wife is like, I wish you treated me the way you treat your clients.
Oh, yeah.
I get that
I
one
think we
too.
all get that one.
Because for them, they're on a deadline and they need quality. They need the right voice, the right price, and they need it yesterday. Right.
Yep.
So I give them a great quality talent, and I give it at a competitive market rate. And I do that on a regular basis consistently, and so they always come back. And now all those people that work at Netflix came from they usually, Netflix is kind of a super team of the producers that used to work at all the other trailer houses, kind of in LA. So everyone knows each other. They all talk, just like us voice actors talk. All those producers talk. So the better I can, service them, the more I'll get a random email from another producer somewhere saying, "Hey, Brent, so and so referred you to me, and this is the project I'm working on. Can you help us?" And the answer is always yes. I will find the
Absolutely.
voice, even if I don't have it. I will find it, and that's something else they like about me is I will, I make 10% off of talent agent commission. So, in order for me to make $100,000, I have to sell $1 million in voiceover. It's very difficult to make money in promo trailer as a manager. Yeah, I mean, I make some money, but I'm not. I need the combination of my own working salary as a voice actor plus the combination of being a talent agent. That's why I run both simultaneously, because I make 90% being the actor, and I make 10% being the manager. I just have a passion for kind of that casting process. I really like it. I think it's very rewarding to get a voice actor on a project. Especially if it's someone's first commercial or someone's first promo or something like that. I mean, that's kind of a life-changing moment for somebody, and I
It
like
really
being
is.
part of that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, over time, it's just kind of building these relationships. And I go and physically meet people. I go to the Clios. I go to all the events I can here in Southern California where I can go physically meet new people. And even if I just go to an event and there's 1,000 people there and I just have a heart-to-heart with one person, I consider that a successful event. I don't need to show up and shake the hand of every person in that room and be everywhere. If I can build, one solid relationship per event and, go to events for 10 years, then that's enough for me. I mean, enough people know each other and talk to each other that if you build a good reputation over time and you don't kind of shotgun blast it and you really are authentic,
Yeah.
it'll be successful. I forgot the original question. I'm just kind of going off right now.
I love it.
You answered the question. Don't worry about it. You were just talking about TVA and why you did it, and then where it went from there. And I think you've given all of us some, lots of great advice, and it doesn't just apply to trailer and promo, but to working in general. Networking, like you said, isn't about meeting every person in the room. It's maybe connecting with one or two people, and so that has a lot of value. And I think what you were saying before about connecting a talent to a client, very satisfying from your relationship with the client, with the talent, but also, building relationship with clients too, because you become a resource, right? You become a go-to, a helper, but it's not just about you. You're a helper.
Yes, I am part of their creative team.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So if they ever need something day or night, I am there for them. And that may be something as like a celebrity voice match. That may be, hey, Brent, can you just temp this for us? This isn't going anywhere. We're being honest with you. Nothing's going to happen with this. We just need a temp voice to pitch our project. No questions asked. I deliver it. Done. So it's, some people have the mindset of, I only want to get behind the mic for X amount of dollars. And that will work for you, and you will get, and you may make some money, but you're also isolating some people who are in the process of building of pitching or building. And the trailer world is very much about pitching things. Working on spec is this term I was looking for, because they don't get paid unless someone buys that trailer. So they can't afford to constantly pay you every time the studio wants a line change or something like that. So I'm not saying don't get paid, but get your money. But in the trailer world specifically, be part of that creative process. Now in the promo world, once you pass the audition phase, you're getting paid every time you get behind the mic. So you can do really well in promo, being the voice of a show or a couple shows, or getting a contract, because every time you see a script, that's you're paid for that. You're good to go. The trailer world is just more about that kind of. I like it because it's kind of this creative world where we don't know what we're going to make. We're developing it in real time, and line changes are happening, and things are we're on version 12 or version 9 or something like that, and the studio wants one word change or something like that. So I have to be attentive to that and kind of on call and around, because it may be 10 p.m. on a Friday and they want to change one word in the copy, and I just have to do it. I have to give that line, or else the whole agency is hung up on the VO.
Yeah.
In the promo world, they'll usually call you about 30 minutes ahead of time, 15 minutes ahead of time, and you need to be ready to go. And it may be a line, or it may be a whole stack of copy. You want the stack of copy because you make more money, but you still, sometimes you need to be on standby to just say 8/7 Central or something very basic.
Right.
But still, you still get paid for that stuff. But so, I mean, the promo world and trailer world has my passion and has my interest, and I think it's just the most fun for me area to work in. And I really like I said, I like the people who make the stuff, because a producer isn't necessarily an older person. They could be right out of USC and be 22 and 23 and be making these things. So if you're ever at an event, don't be afraid to talk to somebody who's looks young, because they may be the boss. Don't let ageism sway you from meeting people, because there's a lot of people who've been with modern computers who've been cutting since they were like 11, and they've just been video editing their pretty much their whole lives ever since they had a phone or a camera, and they're really good at it now. They're already 10 or 15 years in to knowing what to make and what to produce and things like that. So watch out on YouTube and LinkedIn and things like that for up and coming video editors, because video editors are the stars that are making all of these trailers. And also, post production sound designers and things like that. All those people, those are the up and coming people that are going to be the workforce of the future. So look out for those relationships. If you can build a relationship early before they move into a studio or to a trailer house, and they know that you're their voice person. Once they're there, they'll fight for you. So just plant those seeds early is a tip I would say.
Nice.
It's a great tip. It's a great
relationships.
Tip. So my sister was an executive producer in post-production sound, and she never ever got me a job. But that's
you got to network hard.
That's nepotism, Emma.
I was like, really? Okay, fine. But I digress. Anyway, we at the beginning of the show, we were alluding to something, possibly a surprise.
Maybe.
Maybe. Do you think I should take the cat out of said bag?
Do it.
Okay. Brent has really, really generously agreed to hear a few reads from y'all. Like super cold reads. So I haven't sent anything out because it's a big, 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 big surprise. Eek! Oh my God. So already the hand raising is starting to go wild. So we're going to take 5, okay?
Let's...
Just 5 for now.
Yeah.
I need y'all to breathe.
Here's how it's going to work. If you are ready, willing, and able to do a cold read, I need you to raise your hand now. We have hands raised. That's great. It's a cold read. And we call your name. I'm going to ask you to drop your email in the chat. If you're not okay with that, I'm sorry. It's how we have to work tonight, just because it's kind of a quick spur of the moment thing. So if you want your privacy, then it's okay. You don't have to read tonight. It's all good. But if you're ready, willing, and able, and you can drop your email in the chat when we call your name, Emma, hopefully you've been like, I guess, do they pop up on that screen in order? Because we got a lot of hands up.
I don't have any emails yet. So once
But are
the first 5, you're going to do that.
But what I'm saying is that when they come up on the screen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay. So the following 5 people, Stephen, you've had your hand up for the whole time. So I guess I have to. Stephen, go ahead. Put your email in there. Jay Fox, Keaston White, Sarah Tyndall, and Graham Yates. Please put your emails in the chat, and Emma will go to work and contact you directly to share scripts. This is the only way we can do it.
5 of them up on stage so I have their names, please, so I can grab because everyone's putting everything in the chat.
Do you think they're all going to be screaming?
No, everyone's going to stay on mute and they will all behave themselves. They are all professionals and fabulous. So if you can bring them all up, please, then I can grab.
It's dangerous. I love it. I love it. The excitement. Remember, we're selling excitement tonight, people. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go.
Thank you.
We have maneuvered people onto the stage. So the emails are there. Emma is going to get in touch with you folks so we can get stuff rolling. These are going to be cold reads. This is a lot of fun. And while Emma is working behind the scenes to get our talent ready up on stage, Brent, if we could, I wanted to talk a little bit about promo. We've talked a lot about trailer, but much like trailer voiceovers, promo is, I would say, often perceived as kind of an elite genre. It's not everybody gets to do promo, that's for sure. So for a talent out there who says to themselves today, that's the kind of voiceover I really want to do, what do you think that journey might look like for someone in voiceover who's, I should say, not starting in voiceover, but what does a journey towards promo starting in 2023 look like for a typical voice actor who hasn't explored that yet?
Well, you would need to know somebody who's making the content. Okay. And if you personally don't know somebody who's making promos, then you would need an agent or a manager who does know someone who is making promos. And you would need to impress that person enough to have them say, I'm not going to put up the talent I've been with for 15 years. I'm going to put up this new voice for this role instead of my existing roster of people. So in order for that to happen, you need to be exceptional. You need to be new and different and not sound like anybody else. You need to be exciting enough and have the demo pop enough that they're willing to put you up against all their veterans and other people. Because, agents only get to submit like 5 or 7 voices. They're not submitting, it's not a commercial. They're not submitting hundreds of voices. They have to look at their roster and they'll maybe send it out to 40 or 30 and they'll only submit like 5. Because a producer will say, show me top 5. Because they're sending it out to maybe CSD, Atlas, SPV, maybe, Buckwald. They're probably going to their favorite agencies. If it's a New York casting or LA casting, they're going to go to the local agencies and who they have lunch with and go to their kids' birthday parties. The producers know the agents. So it's a relationship. They know them. So if you're out of that kind of circle, and if you're not in LA or New York, you would need to be really, 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 really exceptional. You have to be amazing. These networks can afford the best of the best. So that comes on you as the voice artist to really work to find your sounds, to find your thriller voice, to find your crime voice, to find your romance voice, to find your rom-com voice, to find your family comedy voice, your adult comedy voice, your drama voice, your dramedy voice, your animated voice. There's, for every genre of programming, there's a specific sound that goes with it, and you need to find that version of yourself and document it and record it, and be able to recall it instantly for auditions. And having said that, say you do make a promo demo and say you get signed and you're auditioning. Once you get the audition and say that, okay, we want to bring you on for the show. let's have a session. You need to be able to work in real time via Source Connect or ISDN, which is IPDTL now, to the sound bed and be able to punch in your lines in the first, second, or third take. Hopefully the second, hopefully the first take, and one for safety, because they have to make 200, 300, 400 promos a day. They're busting these things out. So if you can't get the read, and they don't want to hold your hand, they don't want to babysit.
Yeah. I was going to say there's no hand holding time.
Yeah, then they're just going to go with another voice. They're like, the audition was great. We loved them. We loved the sound, but they just couldn't get through a session. They were costing us too much time. We had a second choice, and we're just going to put them in now. So it's possible to get all the way there and then lose the campaign if you haven't practiced on your timing. So go onto YouTube, pull up promos, practice your timing, understand how to work a session, how to run a session, how to be in this world. It's a learned skill. And I've ran, thousands of simulations just by myself on my home computer, and in those 7 years of workshop, that now when I'm in a promo session, I can get it done in 3 to 6 minutes. We just boom, go. Ready, that you hear the 3 beeps and you do your thing. I don't need my handheld. I do my job, and at the end I say bye. We're not there to have a dialogue. There, you can be civil and tell a joke, or be polite or whatever. And
but people are busy.
For like 20 seconds or 15 seconds, yeah. And then just be really good at your job. Just be good at your job. Understand what your role there is. Be really good at it. If you have questions, ask them. Don't be afraid. Hey, what's the episode about? Is this more of a drama episode? Is this more of an action-oriented episode? What are we trying to build here? What are we doing? And they'll be like, in this scene, he's got a gun pulled out. Okay, so let me give it a little more of a darker energy. We love that. So you're, again, even in the session, you're part of the creative process, and you're building together.
Yeah.
So don't be fearful. Don't be afraid of the producers. Be on that team and ask questions and be part of it. Be engaging.
Yeah, one of the things that you alluded to, and this is maybe a good question for both of them, because to paint a realistic picture for people out there who are thinking, I want to get into promo or I want to get into trailer. You talked about a handful of agencies putting forward a handful of talent. Is that true to both of the genres? Are we talking, what's a talent pool size in an audition for promo, in an audition for trailer? Or maybe there's not even an audition in trailer. Maybe it's just coming straight to you.
Yes. And promo could come to you as well, if you've been working with a network and they have a new show or something. But producers always want choices to show their creative director. They're always going to have choices. They're going to probably have a favorite or something they're leaning into, but they have to have choices. Just like when someone reaches out to me, they don't say, give me your best voice. They say, give us some voices for us to kind of think over and drop in our edit, and see what works. For promo, I would say you could probably upwards of 40 voices for a role. That'd be on the high end, maybe 25 voices for a role. In trailer, it would probably be more like 4 voices.
Wow.
Because in trailer, there's already a favorite voice that is on the trailer being submitted to Warner Brothers from that creative agency. And you may be the voice of something you're on, or maybe the voice of something that somebody else is on. But one voice will eventually get the campaign and dominate it, usually. So they'll pick one of those voices and say, we want this voice on all the spots that are submitted to us. Or they may be a little more forgiving, and they may say, okay, we're going to use multiple voices on this campaign.
Yeah.
Promo, they're not going to do that usually. They're usually going to have a voice per show. And if that show gets canceled, guess what? You're out of a job. so that just happened to me on Fox. I was working on Monarch, and the show got canceled. So now I'm out of a gig. But if the show goes for 10 years, you have a promo gig for 10 years. So, you really have to hope you get yourself on a show people like,
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the opportunities are more so in promo just because there's so many networks and they're all making lots of content, especially on social and things like that. They just make more of that. So the thing of voiceover they make the most is commercials. That's why agencies bread and butter is commercials. They just make the most of that stuff. And there's enough
Yeah.
advertising agencies with enough money and enough large clients that can fund and pay for that sort of thing, where an agent can live on a 10%. I mean, you have to do commercial because you're guaranteed to get paid when you're behind the mic. And promo is a subdivision of that because you're guaranteed to get paid when you're behind the mic. The trailer thing is mostly for managers because you're not paid unless they buy the trailer. So there's a lot of unpaid, prayers and work going on there, trailer world. But once you do get a campaign, I mean, it could be 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 worth of work that you get,
Yeah.
depending on how big of a marketing campaign they're running.
Right.
And same with
Yeah.
promo. Promo for a national network SAG promo could be, $40 to $60,000 per show.
Yeah.
So if you're successful in promo and you're running, 4 shows or so, or 3 shows, then you have a couple trailers and a couple commercials running. You can really build a nice 6-figure income. But it's about being able to diversify your talent over all
Yeah.
these genres and having access to the auditions. That just takes
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Emma, are peeps ready?
I believe that we have given them enough time. I've sent 4 scripts to the 5 people that are currently on stage. And if we have more time, I will send out scripts to more people, but just stick around. For the people who are on stage, what you're going to do, we've done this before. Usually I've sent the scripts out before. This time it's like super cold read. You're going to read once. You're going to first introduce yourself. Let us know who you are, where you are. Try to keep it brief. And you're going to read once. Brent's going to give you feedback, and then you're going to follow that feedback and give one more read. And then that's what you're going to get tonight. And I'm so excited to hear this. This is going to be really cool. So, Stephen, are you ready?
Oh, I hope so.
Oh, I hope so, too.
Brent, really great to catch up with you again, man. And congratulations on all your recent and past success. I'm ready when you guys are.
Fire away.
One journey changed them. Then life came between them. Idris Elba, Kate Winslet. On October 6th, when all seems lost, find something to live for. The mountain between us.
Okay. Nice voice, nice texture. I think your instinct was right of kind of playing more into with like an emotional trailer read. I think for this, you're going to have to pick up the speed quite a bit. Not quite a bit, but pick up the speed some, because this is most likely going to be a 30-second TV spot. So first of all, when you're looking at any of this stuff, understand what are we trying to make? What's happening here? And this will be a 30-second, maybe a 60-second TV spot. So we'll have to pick up the speed a little bit, because they haven't even included any actor dialogue or any sound effects or sound bites or anything yet. This is pure VO. And on these trailer auditions like this, you'll ABC each line. So it'll be like one journey, one journey, one journey. Like you'll give different speeds and inflections, so the editors can pick and choose what they want. I think you should kind of warm it up and make it a bit more hopeful. You're a bit downtrodden and kind of playing into the romance and romanticizing it a bit, which was working. But I think you should play into the hope that they're going to be rescued a little bit more. You can give it just a little bit more kind of an upswing in your vocal inflection.
Okay, thank you. One journey changed them. Then life came between them. Idris Elba, Kate Winslet. On October 6th, when all seems lost, find something to live for. The mountain between us.
Very nice. Split the difference. You went a little too far into right field. It was like kind of right in the middle between that first read, that speed and tempo, and that next one was a little too much. So kind of find the happy medium between those two.
One journey changed them. Then life came between them. Idris Elba, Kate Winslet. On October 6th, when all seems lost, find something to live for. The mountain between us.
Yeah, that'll go to air. That'll work good. And then you can play, once you kind of get that read down, that audition down, then you can go back and play with timing on it. I would always give reads that are kind of fast, faster, and fastest, just because you don't want to lose out on an audition by not giving them something that's quick enough. Rarely will it be like, hey, we have more time here. In promo and trailer, they're going to be like, "Hey, we're make this faster. We're running out of time. We got to cram all this in our 30 seconds. We're running out of time." Um, and then you can kind of go back and just kind of make little moments in each, one journey, change them. One journey, change them. Like you were doing there, kind of give a little bit of different spaces in between the words. But overall, that middle read you gave was perfect. It's kind of a what you would call like a flat read, but it has subtle emotion in it. The trailer narrator is not the star of the piece. We are the background voices. So the first read, I think it was a little. It wasn't what the movie was about. It was like a little too sad. And no, most people don't want to really go see a sad movie. They want a movie where there's going to be hope and triumph in the end. And the next read was more of like a more of a family film. And then the last read was that exact kind of middle of like a romantic kind of drama sort of thing, which this is what the film is. So first thing you should do if you ever see a piece of copy is try to find the movie poster. So Google the Mountain Between Us movie poster. Look at that poster.
Ooh.
That poster is going to tell you exactly what type of movie this is.
Nice.
And then
I
you'll be
like
able to give it a read. The same with promo. The first thing they do when they create something is they create a piece of artwork for the show. So always try to find that piece of artwork because that'll help navigate the emotions of the read you're trying to give.
Mike, Emma.
Right on.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. So Mike, Emma, thank you so much. Brent, I really appreciate it. I can't wait to take another workshop with you. Thank you so much for being here.
Sweet. Great job, Stephen. And I point out, in case anyone missed or just joined us recently, these are cold reads that are happening from the Talent on Stage for Brent, getting some feedback on the reads. These are cold reads, so they just got this copy in their hands just a few minutes ago. So great job. And I always, whenever somebody goes first, I always high five, hats off, like big job. Absolutely. It takes something to go up first. So great job, Stephen. Thanks very much for that. We're going to move on to our next talent reading tonight for Brent. Keaston, what's up?
Hello, thank you guys for having me up here. And Brent, don't think I've ever met you. It's an honor and happy to be here. And I'm glad to go. Well, I'm happy to go behind my buddy Steve. All right,
what are you reading for us?
Sorry, I'm in Atlanta, and I'm going to be reading the Bad Boys, or LA's Finest. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. Sorry.
Perfect. It's all good. It's all good.
All
Take
right.
a breath.
Yeah.
You got this.
This September, partner up and throw down. From the producers of Bad Boys, Gabrielle Union and Jessica Alba are LA's Finest, Mondays on Fox.
Yeah, I mean, you're very close. I would say you're probably, 85, 90% of the way there. I understand it's a cold read. You're nervous. I get all that, but I think that your voice works for this. Your attitude works for this. I would just take a little bit more ownership of the read now that you kind of know you're in the pocket. And let's just give me one more.
Okay. This September, partner up and throw down. From the producers of Bad Boys, Gabrielle Union and Jessica Alba are LA's Finest, Mondays on Fox.
Okay. Let's see what we can do with you to make it a little more action-oriented.
Okay.
I want you to give me a little bit more of a darker read on it.
Gotcha.
Kind of give me maybe a little more growl or a little more aggression.
Okay.
Maybe take the smile off your face if you're reading it with smile, and just kind of get rid of that. Just to make it a little bit more serious. Gabrielle Union and Jessica Alba are LA's Finest, Mondays on Fox. And then on that Fox, make sure to hit kind of an exclamation point on Fox. They really press this issue. Mondays on Fox, Give it a little bit of a bite or a growl or a turn or a twist or an edge or something.
Gotcha. Okay. This September, partner up and throw down. From the producers of Bad Boys, Gabrielle Union and Jessica Alba are LA's Finest, Mondays on Fox.
Yeah, that's great. And at Fox, they're pushing more towards conversational, unpolished announcers, and that's really the sound you have. As opposed to this September, it's not. They don't want like this grand, promo announcer thing. They want someone who sounds just like you, Keaston. So, just take note of that. I would have you give me one last read and try one that's a bit swifter because you're kind of taking your time and
Yeah.
the diction's all very good and everything's kind of placed very nice. Give me one more and just read the whole thing. Still be intense and still bring the acting to it, but let's just pick up the pace like 20%.
All right. This September, partner up and throw down. From the producers of Bad Boys, Gabrielle Union and Jessica Alba are LA's finest. Mondays on Fox.
Yeah. I really like how you said the name of the show. That's kind of the attitude I would want for the whole spot.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Nice
And
work.
thank you all for letting me up here. Thanks.
Awesome. Absolutely. Absolutely. Graham, come on down. The price is right.
Well, hello.
Hey, Mike and Emma.
Hi.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
And definitely probably the most stylishly dressed in the room,
Absolutely.
I would say.
Yeah.
There's something to be said for being the best-dressed men in voiceover. No, that doesn't work. that's not good at all.
There we go. What you reading for us tonight, Graham?
100 Days Wild, please. A new
all right, Graham,
series.
60 seconds on the clock. I'm just kidding. Read whenever you're at.
Thanks, Brent. A new series. 7 people have 100 days to build a community. 100 Days Wild, only on Discovery.
You're being too nice about it. Give me one more that look. These people are most likely going to die.
Excellent.
They're not going to make it. Like there's
Discovery.
Sell the danger of them being alone in the wilderness. Because the read you gave was just a little too polite. So make it a little more messy.
A new series. 7 people have 100 days to build a community. 100 Days Wild, only on Discovery.
I'm still being too nice, Graham.
Okay.
Read it like you're totally disgusted with it. This is the filthiest copy you've ever seen, and you just hate it.
A new series. 7 people have 100 days to build a community. 100 Days Wild, only on Discovery.
There you go. Much better. So I need, that worked because, it sold a sense of danger. And I want to see if we can push it even further. A new series. Give me that, but more of like in a whispery tone. Let's see what happens if we take down the amount of voice you're giving.
New series. 7 people have 100 days to build a community. 100 Days Wild, only on Discovery.
Nah, I like the previous read better. I was just taking your voice for a test drive.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think with these shows, you're going to kind of dip a bit into more in action shows, drama shows, thriller, horror. These genres. You're going to kind of dip more into the negative emotions of fear, disgust, anger. These emotions that aren't so pleasant to use in your daily life, but it's an acting class, so you're gonna have to bring them in, and those emotions excite audiences to tune in because this person may die. You're watching them alone in the wilderness, and so you as the narrator are selling that fear essentially to captivate an audience in a 30-second spot to watch for 30 minutes. Give me one kind of red between your teeth. Let's see what your growl sounds like. Just give me one with a literal bite to it and see what happens.
New series. 7 people have 100 days to build a community. 100 Days Wild, only on Discovery.
Yeah, it seems like a new style for you. But if you can develop kind of a growl, a subtle light growl that works for your voice, that adds just a touch of edge to a read, it's a great thing to have in your tool belt.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I can tell you're just such a nice person that asking you to do a show about killing people, or or killing people, or people surviving
He is.
alone
It's true.
in the wilderness may not be your cup of tea. Maybe a game show is probably right up your alley. Or
He's a proper gentleman. This one.
yeah, yeah.
His
But the point to that is you don't have to be good at every genre or perfect at every genre to make money and do well. You could be the best at any of the genres and just be really good at certain genres and be known by your agent or your representation that, oh, that person's really good at comedy. I will always give them every comedy thing that comes in. So, being the jack of all trades is not really to your benefit if it makes you get overlooked by your agency submitting you for things. So find what you're the best at, read a bunch of pieces of copy, and then double down on that thing.
Thank you.
Thanks, Graham.
Thank you, Graham. Sarah. Sarah.
Hi. Wow, this is really exciting. Thanks, guys.
Isn't it?
This is awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you made it tonight.
Yes. Yeah. I chose LA's Finest. So I thought I would do the conversational one and go from there.
Yeah, I believe this campaign was actually booked by a woman.
Cool. All right. This September, partner up and throw down. From the producers of Bad Boys, Gabrielle Union and Jessica Alba are LA's Finest. Mondays on Fox.
One more read, no notes. Just give me one more.
Can I do it a different way?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. This September, partner up and throw down. From the producers of Bad Boys, Gabrielle Union and Jessica Alba are LA's Finest. Mondays on Fox.
Yeah, really nice. I asked you to read again. I'm just trying to get a sense of your voice and what it is, what you can do with it. I think you were putting a little too much lush on the first read. I thought that next read was much closer.
Cool.
You never want it to kind of seem like you're trying to do anything. So if you're going to promo it up a little bit, kind of make it so it's not really noticeable. And that second one was more conversational. Let me hear what you do. If you just give me kind of almost a flat read on it, give me something has a little more narrative, and let me see what that sounds like from you.
Okay. This September, partner up and throw down. From the producers of Bad Boys, Gabrielle Union and Jessica Alba are LA's Finest. Mondays on Fox.
Yeah, that was nice. And on Fox, make sure you punch Fox. Mondays on Fox. Give it a little edge.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just trying to see here, because I know what the guys are going to throw at this. They're going to throw their male action read on it and, put some growl. But what can the women do to compete? And I'm just trying to think of, I don't want to go too sultry with it because, and I don't want to go too smiley or comedic with it because it's an action show, but it's also an action show that's going to have a lot of drama and witty banter between women. So there's going to be kind of this gossipy drama to it while still being a crime show. So when I look at something like this, I look at the show, I look at all the elements and the emotions and things like that the show is made out of. And I'm trying to find, the right voice that would talk to that audience that would love to see this show. And I think what we did on the second read and the most recent read you just gave is very close. It's your voice. It's not overselling any of these things. What if I said read it like a emotional drama? Let's see what comes out of you instead of gearing into an action intense.
Okay. An emotional drama, Lifetime channel, right?
Yeah. Read more Lifetime or crime thriller. And this may be taking away from the read that we're actually going to use. I just want to see what you do with it.
Yeah. This September, here we go. This September, partner up and throw down. From the producers of Bad Boys, Gabrielle Union and Jessica Alba are LA's Finest. Mondays on Fox. I don't like how I punched that. But.
Yeah. We're experimenting. There's no right or wrong answer.
Yeah.
Give me one where you're reading it with a nice little evil smile on your face. like you're going to get into some trouble, and you have like it's more of a smirk than it is a smile.
Okay.
This September, like basically, because the trailer, a promo is a trailer, and there's still an element of tease to it to tease us into wanting to see the first episode. So it has to have some sort of emotions that leave you wanting more, like a cliffhanger, right? Especially if this is the first promo that came out for the series. They're like, I got to see this. That promo looks amazing. So if you can give like a little bit of an evil smile, or which translates well to drama, let's see how that turns out.
Okay. This September, partner up and throw down. From the producers of Bad Boys, Gabrielle Union and Jessica Alba are LA's finest. Mondays on Fox.
Yeah, I love that tone from you. Let's give me one last read, and I just want you to pick up the pace.
Okay.
Just read like 20% faster.
Okay. This September, partner up and throw down. From the producers of Bad Boys, Gabrielle Union and Jessica Alba are LA's finest. Mondays on Fox.
Yeah, nice. Mondays on Fox. Give me the full voice all the way through. Don't you don't need. It's more of like information than it is storytelling. So give me the full power on that. LA's finest. Mondays on Fox. That's kind of your call, more of a call to action than storytelling. So you can hit it with a bit more power. But overall, I mean, I think you have a very nice voice, a very nice promo voice for something like this. You would just need to, like we did here. I like the voice we came out with, but I think your second and third read were equally as good. I just wanted to see, what we could do with it, where it could go, because on these auditions, submit 2 or 3 different creative takes for your promo audition, maybe even 3, and that could be a different speed. It could be a different emotional choice. When you listen back to the promo audition, you should be able to hear a specific emotional choice. Wow, she seemed like disgusted with this, or she seemed angry with this, or oh she really leaned into the aggression of the action, or oh, she was even just the word amused, or something like this. You make sure that the person listening can label the emotion they're feeling, instead of just giving kind of a generic "I'm reading out loud and this is my voice." So that's what this session is finding the emotions within this particular program. And the specs that say action-packed show, hip conversational take, and more action-intense take. So even in the script, they're looking for two distinctly different reads. So make sure that you deliver that. Like I said, the last read we did and probably the second or third read would both be ones that we could submit.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Way to go, Sarah.
And this is being recorded, so the replay will be available. So if you want to grab your reads, if you can.
And I'll study it.
Yeah.
All right, so we've hit our sweet spot that we usually do on time. So we've got one person left on stage. Jay is going to round things out. Thank you to everyone who still has their hand raised, but we got to round it out with Jay. I apologize for anybody who wanted to. This was kind of a spur of the moment thing. So that's going to be it. So Jay, what are you doing for us tonight?
Gee, I'm going to try and read you a commercial if I can. No, it's Jay Fox. I'm in Dallas, and I'm going to do the LA's finest as well. Sorry.
You made me snort. I don't snort.
You're achieving high things tonight, aren't you? All right, here we go. This September, partner up and throw down. From the producers of Bad Boys, Gabrielle Union and Jessica Alba are LA's finest. Mondays on Fox.
Okay, Jay, the wrong read, but the read is applicable. That would be more of like
that was more action. Yep, sorry.
That would be the promo for like a Steve Harvey show or Wendy Williams or a daytime talk show or The View.
Right.
That's the read you just gave.
Okay.
Cut your energy. I mean, you're bringing up way too much energy. The show itself is selling the action.
Got it.
Just give me one more. Just flatten it down.
This September, partner up and throw down. This September, partner up and throw down. From the producers of Bad Boys, Gabrielle Union and Jessica Alba are LA's finest. Mondays on Fox.
Jay, curve your words down at the end of the sentences. Instead of this September,
This September. That type thing?
This September.
Okay.
Yes, and I would give me even less voice. You're still being too powerful with your voice.
All right. This September, partner up and throw down. From the producers of Bad Boys, Gabriel Union and Jessica Alba are LA's finest. Mondays on Fox.
Yes, and you're getting there, but you're still being too nice and too polite about it.
Okay. You want it uglier? Okay, dirtier.
Yeah. Just it needs to be gritty. It's a crime show on Fox.
You need some growl in there. Okay. This September, partner up and throw down. From the producers of Bad Boys, Gabriel Union and Jessica Alba are LA's finest. Mondays on Fox.
Yeah, much better. One more, and I wouldn't romanticize any of the like LA's finest. Shouldn't be LA's finest. It should just be LA's
just matter of fact. Okay.
Matter of fact. Just give me the bullet points.
All right. This September, partner up and throw down. From the producers of Bad Boys, Gabriel Union and Jessica Alba are LA's finest. Mondays on Fox.
Beautiful. And now just get real mean with it. Get real mean on that thing.
This September, partner up and throw down. From the producers of Bad Boys, Gabriel Union and Jessica Alba are LA's finest. Mondays on Fox.
Brent, you're muted. Uh-oh.
We broke Brent.
We broke Brent.
Oh, sorry, I'm here. I'm just narrating. Yeah, I like that read a lot. I think don't throw away.
Sorry, go ahead.
Throw away this September. You're throwing away the this September. That's your hook. That's your intro. That's the
first September. Okay.
No. It's a warning. This September. This September.
Okay.
This September. Like you've never seen anything like this before. Like I'm bringing you in on this thing. So this September, like what is going to happen this September? What? Even that? Don't throw it away. And that comes with May 6th or April 12th or any of these dates. That's a point of invitation. Don't throw it away as data.
This September, partner up and throw down. From the producers of Bad Boys, Gabriel Union and Jessica Alba are LA's finest. Mondays on Fox.
Beautiful read. You just romanticized LA's finest a little too much.
I sure did. As I did it, I went,
But the tone was perfect, and that's the zone for you for this particular style. It's gritty, it's flat, it's matter of fact, and the art of this will be in the subtlety of the emotional delivery under the words. It's not about but you started the read with a game show, so understanding that what your drama voice is and what your Fox drama voice is.
Right.
So, you would have been thrown out of the audition right away had you not known the information of where to go with this thing. So, flip through Fox and flip through their dramas or go into Promos DB and look at what a Fox drama does and do your version of that style.
Okay.
Nice journey, Jay. Nice journey.
Thank you very much.
And reminding everyone again, cold reads. Okay. Cold reads, minimal information. Great job, Jay. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for all that feedback, Brent. I know lots of knowledge bombs in there and very like it's so great to see people travel through from that first read to second, third, maybe fourth, and the journey that they go through and the changes that we all get to hear. But I mean, like you said, sometimes you don't get those chances.
Yeah, right. Which is really, really true. It's like what Brent was just saying. If you really need to know what it is that you're talking about, what network you're speaking for, and the genre within that network that you're speaking for, because it's one of my coaches always says you don't want to be put in the meh file. Meh is not going to get you noticed. It's not going to get you remembered, or it's not going to get you remembered in the way you want to be remembered. So.
Well, and have a little understanding of also the person listening back to your files. If I'm a producer at Fox and I'm not working in the comedy and game show and reality section of Fox, I'm a writer producer that is specifically working on Fox dramas. Right? They all work in different categories on different shows and they expect different sounds. This person you're sending this file to is expecting to hear something similar to all the work they've done in the past. They're not going to go out on left field for a Fox drama. It's going to be the same thing, but different.
Right.
So, do your research, understand what a Fox drama should sound like. You have the internet, that'll take you 10 minutes to do that. And then do your version of that. And, once Jay knew exactly where to deliver, it had a great sound.
Yep, absolutely. This has been incredible, incredible, incredible. Thank you to everybody who is here tonight. Thank you to everyone who came up on stage and allowed yourself to play in a safe space and be vulnerable. This is it's coming full circle. This is where you can do that. We want to just keep reiterating that this is what we want you to understand, that this is a place where you can really, really play and you can let yourself be free and explore genres and styles that you've never done before in this space. So thank you so much for sharing with us. And Brent, thank you. I can't thank you enough, really, for volunteering your time, your expertise to share with everybody. I think I've got 6 pages of notes.
Yeah, I have an extra 15 minutes if you guys want to hang out, and if there's any dying Q&A questions.
Ooh,
I don't know.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, let's go to 6:20 if you guys can. I don't know, Emma and Mike, if you guys have places to be or family or something, that's totally fine.
We are in the place we need to be.
Absolutely.
All right, I negotiated 6:30 with my wife, so.
Thursday on Clubhouse.
Okay.
Tuesday. I always say that wrong. Tuesday on Clubhouse. That's it. There's some hands raised, but we're not going to do any more reads because we've done that thing.
You have questions about talent agents or demos or Let me go off about demos. So a demo is used to get the representation to audition for the job. It is very rare in promo and trailer that you are booked off of a demo, which may happen in commercial world. You will always read for every job, always. And so that's why it's so important to put your authentic sound, your authentic delivery in your demo. Having said that, it's just used to get the representation. It's just used to get in the door to get access to the work. And also used for self-marketing to an extent. So you definitely make the demo and definitely have the promo demo and the trailer demo, but understand that you're still going to have to fight for the work. I just want to leave it there.
Okay. I'm going to bring Stephen Blair up. He's had his hand up for a while over the course of the evening, so I'm going to bring him up. And you can ask your question.
Brent, just to dovetail on what you were saying about demos, I know that in one instance, personally, I was looking to get onto an agency roster for commercial, and they liked my demo, but then the next sort of gate to get through was, okay, send me, 5 of your most recent auditions. Anything like that happen in promo or?
Stephen, can you mute your mic for a second, please? Thank you.
Yes, well, to an extent, yeah. When you're auditioning for an agency, they'll usually send you kind of a script package, and they'll say one comedy, one drama. They'll give you a variety of different styles of promos, and they'll have you read that and send it back because there's a lot of really great demo producers out there.
Yeah, for sure. And you can take time to get there, but like you were saying earlier, you need to be able to deliver on demand and quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so every promo.
Some people are asking
every promo session will be a cold read. You will not have the script in front of you until the session starts. They'll give it to you maybe 3 or 4 minutes ahead of the session. Every session will be a cold session. Mm-hmm. So you have to know what you're doing.
There we go.
Just on demos, some people are asking if you have recommendations for demo producers, or no.
I would go with someone who has a track record of getting people on television.
I like that.
And there is one to reverse engineer, folks.
There you go.
Go find it.
Stephen
They're
Blair.
Out there.
I'm good. Thank you for letting me talk. I appreciate that. And I'm sorry for the noise on my last unmute. So,
that's okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. I have trained for promos with Jody Gottlieb, and I've got my promo demo from Chuck Duran. And I was just wondering, what I've been doing for practice is going on YouTube, downloading the YouTube that has text but no voice to it, like a lot of the promos now for network TV don't have them, like for Netflix and so forth. Mm-hmm. So what I've done is done that, and I've done a lot of them. So I was just wondering, that's proper practice, yes?
Yes, and I referred to that earlier in the conversation where I called them simulations. Yes, do that thousands of times, hundreds of times, over and over and over. And what you're doing is you're understanding what a promo sound of ABC sounds like, what a promo sound of NBC sounds like, what a promo sound for HBO sounds like. All of these different networks are sonically branded. So, as you go through and the more content you absorb and the more of these you watch, you understand the format of them, how they're laid out, the music, the design, all of these things that it takes to build a promo. It's not just video. I mean, there's music design and sound effects and all these things. So that's exactly what I did, and I encourage you to do it. And that's exactly how you'll get your timing right for the live directed session.
Excellent, thank you. One other tag on to that is, since I've made so many of these, I've made like 60 of them. Is there something that I could do with them, since I haven't done these with the permission of these networks? Is there something I could do with them to market myself?
As long as you're not trying to sell them, there's no problem with that. It is it is a demo.
Right. So I would go to possibly the creative directors of those networks or something like that, and say, this is an example of what I can do. Or
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Or what you could do is you could build a website, and then on the website you could have under a demo section video demos, and then you could just sort them by genre. Because, like I said earlier, if I'm working on reality TV, I'm not cutting drama. I'm cutting reality TV. So sort it by the type of piece of content it is. So that way that producer doesn't have to work. Never make the client try to search for what it is you do. Also, don't direct them to a voices123.com website, because you just directed them to a website with thousands or tens of thousands of other competitors.
Yep.
Always have your own space.
We've covered that before, haven't we, Emma?
Always make your own space.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I could have a separate part on my website, which I have a website. I could create a separate part on my website for these demos, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Or and you can upload them to your Instagram or whatever personal things that you have, as a showcase.
Right.
If you don't follow Brent on socials, he is literally, he's constantly teaching. The man is constantly teaching. He's posting what he is performing on a daily basis, but also how he's breaking down the script as it's going. And then here's the final spot. So if you don't follow Brent yet, get on his Instagram, get on his TikTok, because you will learn so much just by, I go down a rabbit hole on a daily basis. Okay, actually do some work versus research.
You're reverse engineering things, Emma. That's what you have to tell yourself.
Well, my father was an engineer, and his father was an engineer, so I'm an engineer to an extent. I like to, put pieces together.
I wanted to ask something quickly, Brent, that I saw in the chat earlier. Someone was asking about if you had any connection, I guess would be a good way to say it, to trailers for the Hispanic market and for Spanish speaking. Any dabble in that area, or is...
Yes, those are made by the same agencies.
Uh-huh.
Same agencies that make the English ones are making they're usually working on the global campaign.
Okay.
Having said that, usually they'll do just pretty much English and Spanish here in the States. And then another company, like a local company in France or a local company in, Singapore or something, will usually we'll work on that stuff there. But for the Spanish market, usually it's just either a different producer or the same producer making both of those versions. So,
there we go.
if just you can type in, let's see, we'll just type in to find that sort of stuff. Type in Golden Trailer Awards, which is the award show for trailer makers. And you can look to see who is submitting themselves to the award shows.
And there we go.
People who are making these are people that are making trailers, or the World Trailer Awards, or the Clio Entertainment Awards, which is Entertainment Marketing Awards. which is HBO Max and Paramount Plus and Viacom and all of these networks. I was sitting, so now I'm walking because I was sitting too long. But yes, reverse engineer. Who is making the thing I'm trying to be on?
Yeah. And I knew this would come up. Carlos is asking, do you have any Spanish-speaking people on your roster?
Absolutely, I do. The first gig TVA ever booked was for Disney World Resort, and it was a Spanish VO through Trailer Park.
There we go. I mean, that's it. Emma, any other questions we're going to, or Brent, any other nuggets you want to make sure you cover tonight? Ben?
We're going to Ben. Ben has
All right.
been waiting very, very patiently.
Ben will unmute. There's Ben.
Yeah, I'm unmuted. Can you guys hear me?
Absolutely.
We can. Go for it. What's your question?
So never mind being the first guy that gets to talk to you, Brent. Being one of the last guys at the end of the night, and all of my questions have been slowly getting answered. I've been sitting here like racking my brain, going, "Oh no, I'm going to be able to talk to this guy, and I need to be able to ask a question." So. Uh, Here's my question to you, sir. I market myself as Ben, and my website is Big Ben VO. You know, I kind of have a bit of a bigger voice, and we've kind of danced around this subject a little bit. Some people try to be the all encompassing voice, and I always I sit on the fence of, do I try to be an all around voice actor, or do I just lean right into the fact that I have, you know, the big voice that I have, and just run with that and market myself as that? What would you recommend with that?
Yes, it's a great question. There's a lot of people with big voices, Ben.
Yeah, I know.
It's not a unique thing.
No, I know. That's the
Everybody that's
thing.
trying to transition from radio into VO has a big voice.
Yeah.
Big voices, you have to learn how to act and how to apply that voice that it doesn't sound like an announcer. Even your speaking voice is going to be sounds big. You know, it's like you don't have to add anything to it. So for you, it's going to be about, how do I take away from this big voice, and how do I make it more natural and more grounded and more cinematic, as opposed to talking to a group of people over the airwaves. You're talking to one person about 12 inches from your face. So
Yeah, fair enough. I've actually been taking voice coaching to learn how to not sound like that radio guy. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, but I'm saying, but there is work for that radio guy. I mean, I just auditioned for a role today that I got a call back from my talent agent, and it was a newscaster. They wanted me to sound kind of like a newscaster, and those auditions come up often. A sportscaster or a game show promo, things like that. So there is work for that, but your job here, running your own business, is to try to create as many opportunities for yourself as possible. That means you're going to have to create as many voices within yourself as possible to have access to more work in order to pay the bills. So, you know, go after radio imaging, go after car dealerships, go after the things that are still using the big voice, that are used to that, because there's still plenty of work out there for that things and for that stuff. And not everybody has a big voice. I'm saying big voices aren't uncommon, but not everyone can do that sort of thing you can do. So understand, you know, where your voice is being used, and market yourself to that. And as far as working kind of in promo and trailer with your voice, you know, it's going to just take time to learn kind of how to nuance those reads with your voice, and that may even be taking you down to a full-on stage whisper.
yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Just getting really, really quiet, like so quiet you're like, you know, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Like, it feels weird. Because remember, that read's going to go to Universal Studios Mix Bay. You know, they're going to make you sound the way they want you to sound. As long as the acting is there, they can bring you up in a mix. So, yeah, take some promo workshops, and kind of just experiment with your voice and listen to the marketplace. And, you know, I just worked on the Domino's thing, and they wanted an announcer. They wanted a big, you know, VO announcer sound. And I'm like, I love doing that sound. Like, they rarely ask for it, but there is work out there for it. So, you know, just learn how to have all these different tools and all these different products that you sell on your website. I call
I
all the
really appreciate
voices.
that.
Yeah, I call the different voices we make, you know, the different products. Like, if you were to walk into a bakery and they just had plain bagels, they'd be like, "This bakery sucks. Like, there's no banana bread, there's no cakes or anything. It's just plain bagels." So with your voice, you should have all of these different products to sell. Your automotive demo, your commercial demo, your radio imaging, all these different things you can do. And I'd rather have somebody have a sample of their work than nothing at all.
Yeah.
As long as, like, to put on your website. Not saying post, the latest promo demo you made, on your computer right now on LinkedIn in front of all the producers, but, put it on your website at least. So at least you have some sort of starting point and reference point for your own career. And if somebody goes to your website, they may like it,
Yeah,
You never
fair
know.
enough.
It's better to have something than nothing.
I'm
And
trying to keep a bit of variety in my demos that I have on my website because I have to admit, I'm excited. I'm talking to you. I get excited, and so I get a little bit louder. But I try to in my voice work to give a little bit more variety, so I'm not quite so loud. I can definitely dominate a room if I want to, but I don't want to do that. The training
See,
aspect
Ben,
of it.
Ben, you gotta take your 500 horsepower and you gotta work on your parallel parking. Right? Take that power and just work on your parking. Cool, Ben. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for your question.
And Ben, also things like drug commercials, or I think, Mike, you were alluding to, like, his voice kind of sounds like a Silverado commercial or a truck commercial or something like that. Kind of listen to the market, listen to your voice, and see, where it would be cast for.
It's awesome advice.
Seriously, this has just been so incredible. So incredible. If we could go on, but it's 9:10 and I can get mad, so we're not doing that. We're going to...
All right, we can wrap it up.
We're wrapping it up. Go, Em.
No, just in general, this has just been an incredible session. So many people coming up, so many other people that wanted to come up. So maybe I can, strong arm Brent into coming back as a guest later on in the year. We are booked up until June with speak. I know, I couldn't help myself. And it's pretty incredible. Like the people like yourself who have volunteered their time and expertise. Again, if you haven't followed Brent on social media, please get on Trailer VO Brent, is it? Trailer VO Brent, and Trailer Voice Artists, and follow everybody in the room. And if you're not getting notifications for the Voiceover Roundtable, there's a little green house at the very top of this page beside the Voiceover Roundtable. Click that and you will get notifications, because just hold on to your pants, kids. This year's going to be bananas. Brent, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Brent. This is growing. This community is growing, and it's thanks to you people out there. More and more every week, we're seeing our community members sharing the events and telling others about them, and that's what this is all about. So you're helping us grow. So come on back every 7:30 Tuesday nights, Voiceover Roundtable. As promised, as you know, Emma was alluding to this, we have so many amazing shows planned for the coming weeks and months ahead, including more opportunities to read and get feedback in some of the other genres, like, for example, from Kim Herden.
Animation. It is not open yet. Calm down.
No, do not email Emma. Okay, we have to say this every time. Don't. We will let you know. Watch our socials, and we'll let you know when it's time. We'll also have casting director Marilyn Wisner, as well as getting some really deep knowledge in some of the other, VO adjacent topics that are really important. Like, we'll talk to the original VOpreneur and marketing expert Mark Scott, as well as VO coach, demo producer, and ultimate VO jet setter. If you follow him on online, you have seen airplane food pictures like nonstop forever, and it's just crazy. Yeah, J. Michael Collins will also be with us at some point in the coming weeks and months ahead. So connect on socials, folks. Reminder, that's it. And we'll be back next week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:30 Pacific, with special guest Mark Ryder, or just Ryder. I think he goes by now. He's like going his Prince route or something like that. So Ryder with us next week. We will hear you then. A big thank you again to Brent for being with us tonight and being so generous with your time, Brent. Thanks very much.
Thank you, everybody. Enjoy your VO journey. It's just take it day by day, week by week, and judge your VO journey not in weeks or months, but judge it in years. Don't put some arbitrary timeline on your success. Just continue to get a little bit better every day, and just get 1% better every month. Over time, these small things will add up.
Fantastic advice to leave on. Thanks very much, Brent. We'll hear you next week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:30 Pacific, Voiceover Roundtable. Good night, everyone.